No, I don't actually have a joke for this one. Sorry about that. Sinners 2025 is a film written and directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Miles Caton as Sammy, Michael B. Jordan as the twins Smoke and Stack, Jack O'Connell as Remick, and Hailee Steinfeld as Mary. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. So I'm going to do this review in two parts, and the second part will just be about the spoilers. First part, spoiler free, because a lot of what I will talk about will be the plot and obviously what happens in it. So yeah, I'll give a spoiler free review first. It's quite a difficult film to talk about without getting into the spoilers, being all spoilerific. But broadly speaking, I really enjoyed the film. I haven't enjoyed it to the extent of a lot of other people, first to admit that, but it's still a really good film. I'm probably not its target audience in that aspect, so that might be why. So I enjoyed the first half of the film a lot more than the second half, because the second half, things change, we go for a tone shift, and it works for a lot of people, but it didn't work for me. It was still entertaining, it wasn't bad, but it didn't continue the momentum it had from the first half for me. Performances, they're all really good. Michael Jordan's really good, Jack O'Connell's really good, Miles Caton in his first role, or first major role, again, really good. Like, performances across the board are great. Delroy Lindo really stood out to me, and they really elevate the material, and they really give it that depth that you look for with these performances that you get. Michael B. Jordan playing the twin role, the dual role of the twins, he was really good because you could tell the difference in each twin and see all the similarities at the same time. I would argue this is more to do with the writing, but I didn't feel that the twins were close enough aligned that you could mistake one for the other, say, but luckily they had their own colour scheme to be able to tell the difference. Hailee Steinfeld, really interesting character. She's probably the most interesting character, even. And as a result, I think she gets the most material to play with. But this is a very historical, of its time film, and it's so enriched in the culture and the laws of the time. There's a lot about the Jim Crow laws. We hear about lynchings, and that is all really well done, and you can feel it seep into the lives of every one of these people. And the whole beginning of it is painting this really complex picture. We know everyone's motivations and desires, and we get a real good judge of what everyone's character is like. And ultimately, I feel the tone shift, and it's a genre shift as well. I don't think that's a spoiler to say, but it takes it in such a different direction that all these feelings and emotions and what we were building before can't continue. And it can't continue in a story sense, obviously, because of what is happening. But I would have rather we explored that more than what we actually got. I'll leave it there for the moment. And the cinematography was it was really good. I didn't love it. I didn't jump for joy with it, but it was still really interesting and really good. I find a lot of it, though, it was trying to do a bit too much. And if it just stepped back a little, if it just let things unfold, I feel like we could have had a lot more visual storytelling from it. But when there are moments in this film when it really soars. There is a musical sequence, which is probably the best sequence in the whole film, and it calls back to what happens at the beginning, and there's themes throughout, and you can see this, like, it's all in this fantastic one take spinning round as we see the ages of music, past and present and future, all unfold at the same time. Perfectly done, brilliantly done. That was the moment that I enjoyed the most in this whole film. This was the bit that was like, yes, fantastic, brilliant. And for such a musical, for a film with such an importance on music and the playing of music, the performance of music, it had a really good soundtrack. There was so much blues in it, which I really enjoy, personally speaking. Every character has a really deep backstory. We learn so much about each twin and how they're different. And Sammy is sort of like our vessel through it, who's navigating this world, and we're seeing it all, and we understand why he wants to do what he wants to do. And there's themes of religion and oppression and freedom and expression. So I give the film overall an 8 out of 10. A great 8. Because it's a really good film. It's a really good film. It's a really good sum of its parts. I don't buy the hype as much as other people do. It didn't hit those same checkpoints for me that it seems to have done with a lot of other people. But I'm not discounting that it's not a good film. I just didn't enjoy it as much as other audiences did. So let's get into spoilers, and what I want to talk about most is obviously vampires. So yeah, about halfway, 2/3 of the way through the film, it turns into From Dusk Till Dawn. It's very clearly influenced by From Dusk Till Dawn with this genre shift, and it's a better film than From Dusk Until Dawn. From Dusk Till. Where's it gone? So yeah, very clearly influenced by this, but it's a better film than this. This is quite the schlocky genre piece. Sinners is going for something more, and yeah, it's a better film. The vampires are interesting. Their characters are a lot more interesting. They're not just vampires. They are fully fleshed out characters. Jack O'Connell is the main one, and he's really good, and I wish we saw more of him. Like, a lot of it's left to subtext and hints in the dialogue, but we don't ultimately learn a lot from him. And they do really interesting things as well, actually, with the vampires with their eyes, and that's how you can tell they're a vampire. But I wish they did more with that. There were so many opportunities I felt where you could use those red eyes as such a strong visual, but they never really did it. They never really explored the full use of that, which I found actually quite frustrating. There were parts of it which were overshot and over edited, which just little by little sort of sapped my full enjoyment from this. And again, but it's not like it was a bad film at all, and it's not like they did anything bad, but I just feel it could have been a bit better if things were allowed to breathe more. Once we hit the vampire stuff and it starts taking off, the build to the vampires getting to be vampires, blood-sucking art and all that, was really well done. But then we get to the horror, the action, the gore. The gore was great, by the way. I really enjoyed that. It just starts going at 100 miles an hour, and we go. We don't get time to mourn. We don't get time to take it all in. It just starts going for it. And I feel it really left behind character arcs and explorations of themes, because we're more concerned with vampires than anything else. And that's really what stops it being a better film for me, because we had all this rich character growth and storytelling before, and it gets shoved out the way for vampires. There are still continuing threads, but all the threads kind of get cut short because, like, we've got to deal with this situation first because, you know, vampires. I thought some of the designs for the vampires were like this hive mind stuff. That was interesting. That was cool. And they became a whole metaphor for what was happening to these black characters in their lives at the moment. You know, reflecting things and that. But it felt like I wish it was more one or the other. If it was a vampire film, great. And if it was a vampire film from me off, great. Do that. If it was a drama about Mississippi in the 30s, great, do that, commit to that. Because that bit, that chunk of the film, I really enjoyed. That was so good. And that bit wasn't as good, and as a result it brought that down for me. Because we talk about the Ku Klux Klan and that in that, and you know, they're already detestable villains as they should be. Why do we need another villain on top of that? I think it would have worked better for the way I saw the film. Say the siege that happened overnight was with the Ku Klux Klan instead of the vampires. I would have enjoyed that more, arguably. But this is, you know, this is just my opinion. For one or two that will get even this far through the video. So, yeah, I felt like it tried to do too much with too little. Overall, technically speaking, it was great. Performance-wise, it was great. It was just stretched a bit too thin with what it had. It really chucked everything in the pot. Too many cooks. Well, not too many cooks, but I hope you get what I'm talking about here. And it's still an 8. Obviously, it's an 8. It is a great film. I would say go watch it. I saw it in IMAX. Great experience. But it's not the 10 out of 10 for me that it seems to be for a lot of people. My favourite vampire film this year was Nosferatu. I loved that. That was much more up my street than this was. Some people are going to love this a lot more than me. Some people are going to like it less than me. But it's still a very good film. We should support original stories, original filmmaking. And yeah, no, 8 is a very fair rating, I think. You go see it. So if you're still watching, why? And also, don't forget to please like, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Comment, tell me what you thought about it even. But yeah, like, still a really good film. Go see it, please. Support cinema. That's the main thing.